Welcome back to my channel. My name is Lana. So you know how a lot of us want to start our own businesses or want to be entrepreneurs, but we don't get to ask ourselves the questions that really matter, whether we are ready to start up a business or not. So today's videos, I'm going to put out questions that we need to ask ourselves first before we start any business. But before we go into that, if this is the first time you're watching my video, please do not forget to subscribe. Click on the notification bell so that you can get notification whenever I post a video, like, share, and leave a comment so that we can work together. So first, in this video, I have 4 practical questions you need to ask yourself before you start a business or before you decide that I want to be an entrepreneur. The first one, here, the practical question. 1, do you have the practical plan? Do you have a practical plan with a solid foundation on how you want to go about your business? 2, are you willing to be dedicated and willing to sacrifice all else so that your business can grow or you can be an entrepreneur that you want to be? Are you willing to do everything concerning to sacrifice all for that your business? Do you have the technical skills that is required in the kind of business you want to venture in? You need to ask yourself these questions. Do you have basic knowledge of it? Basic knowledge, researching on how you can go about this your business. What about how to manage the business? Do you have any idea on how you can manage your business or the technical know-how concerning it? These are questions you need to ask yourself before you just venture that I want to start up a business and I want to be an entrepreneur. What about record keeping? You know, a lot of us start businesses. I am guilty of it. I started a business. Record keeping wasn't one of the first things on my list. And it injured me a lot. Record keeping is so important. No matter how, you don't have to have an auditor or a financer, but to keep records, especially when you're in a goods and services business. So these things are important. What about the market analysis? Have you done all this? Have you asked yourself, am I willing to go all the way to do this? This is a practical question. Two, I want to say is questions you need to ask yourself, really ask yourself before you start your business. 1, why do I want to be an entrepreneur? Why do I want to start up my own business? Fine. Is it because I am bored of the 9-to-5 job? You need to ask yourself about that. I think I get bored about going to work all the time, 9-to-5 job. So I have a side hustle that I enjoy. Okay, fine. Is it because you love to do something and you want to do it well? Are you passionate about something and you want to do it and you want to do it on your own time? Then again, is it that you have a business idea that you think people are in need of? So I need to go into this business concerning it. So many questions you need to ask yourself, not just that, okay, I think at this point in time, I don't have a 9-to-5 job, let me venture into a business, without counting, without checking the pros and the cons of business. No, ask yourself these questions. Am I ready to do all this? Do I just want to leave the 9-to-5 job and start my own business? But just know something, when you decide to leave a 9-to-5 job, know that being an entrepreneur or starting your own business takes much more than 9-to-5 job. Seriously. The hours you're going to spend might be between 10 to 15 hours because it is your time and you don't even know that you're spending so much time. But that is the thing. When you have a brainchild, when you have a startup business, there is so much time and effort you put into it. So please ask yourself these questions. Are these the things that I'm willing to do for my business to be successful? Number 3, I will categorize it as character questions that you need to ask yourself. 1 important question you need to ask yourself, am I a leader? You know, starting up a business is good, but then again, your business cannot just be started forever. It has to expand. And when it expands, means this is the time for you to start employing people to work under you. Are you a leader? Do you know how to make decisions by yourself and stand by it? Do people come to you for decisions or ask you questions concerning a matter? Are you one that provides solution in a business environment? You should think about these things. These are like the questions you need to ask yourself. Do you have the willpower? Do you have the self-discipline to actually manage a business or to be an entrepreneur? Do people like you? Or do you like people? Do you get along with people easily? Because all these things, if you're on an island, there are some people that they are good being by themselves. They just love their company. They don't like to socialize. You can't do a good business without being able to socialize. But if you cannot even socialize, you have to think about it that, okay, I need to employ somebody that will be able to market my business and make that and fill that gap or that void of socializing and bringing the company to the people. So you need to think about all these things. So are you good with competition? Will you be able to stand criticism when it comes at you? These are the things you need to ask yourself. I am one that is not good with criticism. I think criticism brings me down, and then it takes me like 2, 3, 4, 1 week to, rise up. Sometimes I just have to pray to God that, like, no, I'm not going to be moved by this. So you need to ask yourself these questions before you venture into a business. Last on the list, I want to call it your personal control. Do you have the control? When you start a business, you are going to sacrifice a lot. Do you have the stamina? Business, one key success to business, and I have found it out myself, is consistency. When you are not consistent, your business is going to die. It's like dead on arrival. So stamina is what keeps you going even when you don't feel like doing the work. Do you have the stamina to start your business, to continue and keep it going? It is very important to ask yourself that question. My advice from a personal point of view, do not start your business when you are not ready. When you know that you don't have the willpower or the finances to push it forward. Don't start a business and stop. People would follow you to an extent, and when they don't see that you're consistent, they don't take you seriously. So you will have to ask yourself, do I have the stamina to start, continue the race, and keep going? It is very important. 2, what are you willing to sacrifice? You need to sacrifice how you spend your finances. You need to curtail your expenses at every given time. When your business is a baby, at a startup, you need to push as much as possible finances into the baby for it to grow. Then you have to curtail every other expense. If you're single, good for you. It's better because you are sharing. This sacrifice is basically yours. You're in control of your finances, so you need to discipline yourself. But then again, when you have a family, you just have to make sure that your family is on board with you concerning sacrificing with finances, cutting down on every other thing so that the business can actually move forward from a startup. It is easy. I'm going to be talking about funding of a startup business, and I will talk about crowdfunding. But when your business starts and you've given all to it, now is the time for you to start making sales. How are you going to make? How are you going to control your sales? How are you going to do your marketing? All these questions are questions that you need to analyze. You need to analyze your strength, your weaknesses, the time, every effort you're going to put in it. You need to analyze all these things. So my advice, before you start your business, sit down, think about it, ask yourself these questions. Am I ready? And if you find that you are ready, you might not have an answer to all of the questions, but you might have answer to most. Then you tell yourself, I am ready. And when you start, please be consistent. Do not stop. Thank you. My next video, I'm going to be talking about checklist. I'm just going to give a short video on checklist on what you need to start your business. And I know that when you start your business, you are going to run with it. Thank you for watching this video. If it's the first time you're watching, please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you.